What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and Tim Pool has finally gotten his Civil War, it may seem. Fortunately for him, he's currently encased in snow in Alaska in 30 below zero weather. So far be it for me to let a great grift opportunity like this pass me by. So I'm going to fill in for you, Timmy. Civil War is here. Well, starting to think maybe he was right all along. Maybe the way it looks is different. It's not going to be father against son, brother, cousin against cousin in the front lines, but it certainly will be playing out in the court system here in the United States and perhaps spill over to even more very real scenarios. I don't often cover politics on this channel. I don't think it'll be a big part of what I do going forward, but I think this topic is extremely important given, I don't care who you vote for. I don't care if you're a Trump fan. I don't care if you're a Biden fan. I just want to do my best to entertain and educate you. I never want people to feel unwelcome here. And sometimes it happens when you cover politics. I still want people to disagree with me in the comment section. I want people to educate me, correct me when I'm wrong. And I want people to feel kind of safe to share their opinions even when they disagree with me. This is a wild, wild story. And it's ramping up, while a lot of conservatives were whining about some stupid calendar on Twitter, the liberals removed Trump from another ballot, essentially. If things get scary, by the way, now is a good time to stock up. This is the last day of the year-end stock-up sale for Coffee Brand Coffee. Our buttery toffee peanut bombs, roasted and salted cashews, spicy sweet treat mix, chocolate-covered espresso beans, chocolate-covered pretzels, yogurt-covered pretzels, sea salt chocolate. All these delicious treats are nearly 60% off, $5-6. That's it. Plus, we have a dozen or half dozen or so different coffees. Here's the life hack for you. The 5-pound bags are also 50% off, so you can get a huge bag of coffee for very, very cheap. Our K-Cups are on sale. Hot Cocos are on sale. So go on, pick it up. Now, link in the description. Tim Pool tweeted, Trump is the front runner, not just for the GOP, but the 2024 general election. I think that's actually true as of right now, given whatever poll you want to look at. I mean, polls are whatever, Removing him is an act of civil war. Removing him ends the republic. 50,000 likes. That's a pretty aggressive statement, pretty bold statement. But I'm starting to warm up to Timmy on this. We all know that, Colorado removed him. Now now Maine has removed him, barring Trump from joining. And it's wild. It's wild to me that this is playing out. We're the ones, by the way, that have to suffer for this. This is all political. They're desperate. They're afraid. They're trying to do everything they can in their power to try and remove him from the ballot with no actual legal precedent. I'm going to go over the actual 14th Amendment that they think that justifies this. But it's important to understand something that Mike Cernovich said here, and I agree with it. The process is the punishment. Democrats will put you through hell, make you go broke, and if the court overturns it, they'll do something else. That's why Maine is acting unlawfully. They know they are. That's the entire strategy. It's the same thing with all these rogue attorney generals. They're not going to convict Trump. They're not going to convict him because they don't have anything on him. But they're going to drain him of millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars to defend himself, going to distract him, going to try to grind him down, going to try to get him to walk away. They're doing literally everything they can now, including lying and misinterpreting the 14th Amendment to try and get him removed from the ballots. Now, these are the ballots for the primaries, not the general election, but that's the first thing that they can start with. Maine barred Donald Trump from the primary ballot Thursday, becoming the second state to block the former president from running again because of his actions before, during, and after the January 6th event. By the way, he was never charged with or convicted of insurrection, which is what they're saying is the reason he should be off the ballot. The decision by Maine's Secretary of State Shanna Bellows, Democrat, is sure to be appealed. The Colorado Supreme Court found last week that Trump could not appear on the ballot in that state under part of the United States Constitution that prevents insurrectionists from holding office. This is an amendment that was created after the Civil War to keep Confederates out of office. The Colorado Republican Party, yeah, these are the same people that say the Second Amendment's outdated, and then they're pinning their whole hopes and dreams on the 14th. The Colorado Republican Party has asked the U.S. Supreme Court to review the case, which could resolve for all states whether Trump can run again. And that's what the Supreme Court needs to do. They need to fast-track ruling on this and just end this nonsense. The Supreme Court needs to come out and just say, no, you idiots. No, we're not removing from the ballot. He was not charged with and or convicted of insurrection. You're purposely misinterpreting this. Stop. And then end it. Because they're wasting all of our tax dollars, by the way. Think about all the extra tax dollars they could have sent to Ukraine and Israel, guys. Not you, but the Democrats, you know. Think about how much more money you could send to Israel and Ukraine if you just would stop this nonsense. Now, in 1868, 3 years after the Civil War, the United States adopted the 14th Amendment to the Constitution to provide legal protections to those who had formerly been enslaved. Section 3 of that amendment barred those who swore an oath to the Constitution from holding office if they engaged in insurrection. That provision was used at the time to keep former Confederates out of office, but has rarely even been mentioned in the last 100 years. Trump's critics cited that section of the Constitution after J. 6th, arguing that Trump had incited and participated in it, even though, by the way, he was never charged and or convicted of that. So far, only Colorado and Maine have sided with those challenging his ability to run. Trump, for the time being, is still slated to appear on their primary ballots because those decisions are now temporarily on hold. So that's an important thing to remember. He's still on the ballot. They're on hold, and they're not going to hold up in the Supreme Court. There's no chance. Like, that's just not happening. The Supreme Court is not upholding these decisions. They're going to overturn it. But again, remember, it's the process is the punishment. They're trying to grind him down and they're throwing literally everything they can at him. They locked down the whole country to make sure that they could go door to door and get people's vote to fill out their ballots. Some people think. You don't think they'd do that again, allegedly? You know, and you see, and this is Trump's response. Trump's lawyers respond, or spokesman says, Democrats in blue states are recklessly and unconstitutionally suspending civil rights of American voters by attempting to summarily remove President Trump's name from the ballot, which I agree with. Make no mistake, these partisan election interference efforts are hostile assault on American democracy. Colorado, Maine, and more than a dozen other states hold their primaries on March 5th, known as Super Tuesday. By the way, even Governor Gavin Newsom, even Newsom doesn't want him off. California didn't take him off the ballot. And there's a reason that the two states, these are the two easiest states to get this kind of stuff done in. And it's insane. And then you look at this. Thomas Massey writes, in Maine, Colorado, and other states that might try to bureaucratically deny ballot access to any Republican nominee should remember that the United States House of Representatives is the ultimate arbiter of whether or not to certify electors from those states. So, I mean, I say let all the Democrat-controlled states remove Trump from the ballot and have the House refuse to certify votes in those states. Yeah, because that would actually work out, that would actually work out huge for Trump, right? Like, oh, you want to play that game? Okay, cool. Joe Biden won in Colorado and Maine. Cool. We're not certifying it. You're not getting those electoral votes because you wanted to play around. That's the gamesmanship. That's what civil war looks like right now. It's being fought out politically. It's being fought politically. It's not going to be fought in the streets, at least yet. Tim says, get your bunkers built. This, that, and the other thing. I don't know. I mean, the Republicans do a lot of talking. Meanwhile, the Democrats are removing Trump from ballots. You know, they'll say, oh, well, certain Republican states are thinking about removing Biden. Like, well, they haven't yet. Unfortunately, the Democrats are just better at not caring about our rights, apparently. I mean, all we need to do is go back and look at the Twitter files and see, you know, these arms of the Democratic Party, like the FBI, et cetera, working to infringe on all of our First Amendment rights by, you know, artificially banning people from social media, artificially or illegally monitoring things we post on social media, pro-Trump people being politically motivated, all this kind of stuff. I mean, they're literally trying to... That's the point. So Tim writes, at what point of the election breakdown does the real Roseanne win her bet with Michael Malice? I mean, the question is there even going to be an election? I mean, you have election. Oh, and then you have the House of Representatives refuse to certify the votes from states. I mean, the 2024 election, it's insane. I mean, it's not even 2024, and it's I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what this looks like, but you know, the Republicans need to get off their rear ends and do something. They need to fight back. The Supreme Court needs to get involved and just put an end to this nonsense. A lot of these Republican rhinos will like to tweet about stuff. They need to get some action done. They need to get off their rear ends and do something, or they're going to lose support. You know, a lot of hardcore Republicans, you know, a lot of people that vote Republican have become far more aware of what is the term uniparty, you know, and rhino. These are being thrown around now more than ever. It's going to be wild, wild, wild 2024. And that's why I'll try to cover a little bit of it, especially when things are really important like this. I hope you were informed by this video. If you want me to cover a little bit of news here and there, let me know in the comment section down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.